you know, we're a junior here, so it's we'll sometimes complain about the lighting. So I have something to say. It's darkness rises, and light to meet it. Snoke, I created Snoke. Right? That's Palpatine said that is fucking bullshit. And they didn't create Snoke. Okay, it was a great idea that they had that Disney said, okay, it's a great adversary, this Snoke character, and they fucking they it was a great thing because it was shrouded kind of in mystery. If you watch Force Awakens, I remember when I'm watching in the theater, and the first time you see Snoke, it's the projection of him, this immense projection, and Kylo Ren is like going, getting his information from him, and you're like, oh shit, who the fuck is this dude? He's like, it looks like kind of a humanoid, big, badass, fucking, no joke, kind of old kind of Sith, like older than Palpatine, or who knows? Like, you don't know what that fucking guy is or what he's capable of. It was a really good thought out idea, and the whole thing wasn't centered around him. You know that he's the main nemesis, but Kylo Ren is like the emissary. He's the main story. So I think it was just a great idea. And so you had this idea where they're building this guy up, and then at the end, it didn't matter because it was like Rey versus Kylo Ren, that battle thing, and she kicks his ass, right? And then remember he goes like, the final thing, and he goes, come to me. I need to complete your training, the whole thing. So you never see what this guy can do. Then in the Last Jedi, they jump right in. They go right in, and they show the Snoke, on that ship, and he's like in that kind of robe or whatever, and he goes, yeah, he goes, you were unbalanced. She split your spirit to the bone. Like you were bested by a girl that's never wielded a lightsaber. You failed. It was really great. That's how he fucking made him feel like he was this. But you see, it was really interesting, the dialogue, because the first thing he goes like this. He goes, remember when he goes in Last Jedi, Kylo Ren walks in, and Snoke goes, ah, the mighty Kylo Ren. So he's like building him up, right? And he goes, the mighty, like he's something. He wasn't like, be like, yeah, you mighty, you think you might. No, he was kind of building it up, and then he goes, and then he keeps going. He digresses. He goes, when I found you, I saw the true potential of your bloodline. The new Vader. Like he's really good. He's building him up, but no, he turned. He goes, I was wrong. You're not. And he's like shocked. He goes like, what do you mean? You didn't. You hesitated. And then Kylo Ren stands up. He goes, what do you mean I hesitate? I killed the Han. I killed my dad. What do you mean? I showed. And then he goes, but you lost to a girl that never wielded a light. You nothing. Like you were unbalanced. It's just great. Like fucking like like a mean sensei in the Karate Kid, Kreese. The fucking guy. He's like giving him that hard love of reality. He goes, you have no idea, because Snoke knows. He's a dude. You got owned by her because you didn't. And it was just a really good, like you see the beginning of it was like, okay, all right, we're gonna get the next Empire Strikes Back or something going on here, and then all of a sudden and then remember what happened, the whole thing, Rey's on the island, and she hands the lightsaber, and the Luke, and takes it. He looks at it, and you're like, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And he threw it like over his head, like, and it was like at that point, oh shit, we're in trouble now. We're in big trouble. Like I knew the second that happened, when he went like this and he threw it and those pogs, I go, oh no, they're gonna give it away. They're gonna when I mean give it away, they're gonna fucking they're they're not going with the narrative. What the fuck are they doing? It's like they started, like they gave, like they were gonna go, and then they just fucking. I said, oh shit, they fucking fucked up the whole thing. And there was okay, like like he starts he convinces her to train, but then he goes like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "What the fuck was what?" I go, "Oh my god, it's not his daughter now." Oh, they complete. I said they turned the story up upside down after what J.J. Abrams set the good tone, to go forward, and they didn't give it. They gave it to some. I don't know what happened. There was a meeting. I know Zeeb's probably screaming in the fucking at the computer right now or on his phone. It's a Kathleen Kennedy. It's a Kathleen Kennedy. It's her, but it's more. There's a team of people, executives that make the decision, and they even before Force Awakens was made, they were trying. Lucas was pleading. He said, "Look, I got a great idea." He said, "No, no, no, no. We got it. We're going to do a whole new thing. We'll put a little bit of something in there, but it's not about that." And it was like, okay, it grew on me. It grew on me because, like, look, you put in somebody new. They're like, who the fuck is this black guy? What the hell is this? Finn, Poe Dameron? Who the fuck is this guy? What is he? They're not. But you had to, like, the characters had to grow on you. They did a good job because the girl, she's good. She really kind of adapted. Like, but they gave basically they she's like the main jockey. Like she's riding the Star Wars horse. Like she's the one control. The whole story is about her. If you think about it, it's not supposed to be, but she was the next Luke was supposed to be. That's what it is. If you look at like the original trilogy, even though it's like the Luke thing, but it is the redemption of Anakin Skywalker is really what the original trilogy is about. But you can't really figure that out till all three movies are done, because if you watch just the first movie, it's about Luke. It's the farm boy, like that has the power, and he has it trained by Obi-Wan. That sees his potential in there. He's like kind of like a young. He doesn't know. He doesn't. I got to get home. I got to the whole thing. So they knew they were going to follow some type of formula, but they really did not think things through properly, because it's you got to make a 3-act play, and the problem was they didn't do that. The Empire Strikes Back is exactly what it says. The Empire striked back. Okay. The problem is The Last Jedi. There's nothing back. It was a complete story in of itself, like Force Awakens. But Force Awakens was very good because it did kind of like explain, okay, this is what we're going, like a whole story. And you see like Han Solo, like he went back to doing his thing, and then the Leia was running the Resistance. So it was it was not bad. The whole idea of like BB-8, the whole that's the new R2D2 kind of thing. So it was good, but what happened was they didn't think things through with The Last Jedi. They really didn't. And it was a very difficult. I said, boy, they're going to have their hands full trying to do something really good to lead to that conclusion. And they didn't do it. They basically shot their wad out when they killed. First off, there should have been no Rey Snoke thing. They really moved in way too fast. I know I talked about it a million times, but I'm so passionate about it because it was so awful. Here you get one chance, like to make something to really, to outdo yourself. Like you get, when a movie's done, it's done, it's over, that's it, you can't go back. So what they did. Well, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? You take this incredible power guy, and then you just get rid of him. And what now? And that's what happened. They basically said, "Oh shit, we'll worry about it later. Worry about it later." Well, okay, the Kylo Ren is the supreme commander, emperor now, leader, supreme leader, Ren. Okay, but what happens? And they didn't know. They're sitting there. Well, fuck. What do we do? We'll bring back Palpatine. You'll bring back Palpatine from where? Where he died on the Death Star. Vader picked him up, threw him down the chute. He's gone. He's gone. But he's not gone. He's there on Exegol. What? What do you mean he's not dead? What is he doing? How did he survive? Why wasn't he around anywhere? I created Snoke. What do you mean you created? How, where? What do you mean? You just show up out of nothing? It didn't come up into nothing. Next thing you know, it's Han Solo will be, and they did. They showed him in the last the last Skywalker, the Rise of Skywalker. I'm this is the dumbest thing of all. But it's like it's no. See, what happens is fans are not stupid. They love to analyze things, and what happens is the dumber you make something, you start they walk out theater and then they say, hey, you're supposed to build a legacy here. You're not supposed to make stupid, okay? And that's what they did. They made stupid, okay? They had him in the Last Jedi. It was stupid. I'm sorry, they had him in the Rise of Skywalker with that cameo scene, stupid. And then they had this Palpatine, this stupid. They didn't think things through. They spent too much time worrying about the lesbians kissing the aliens or whatever the fuck they had in there. You didn't. It's not that difficult, really. It's not. If you're a real fan, what Lucas said. You should write these 3 movies first, okay? But you keep them kind of a little bit of open. There's openness, but the direction that it's going. The direction. So you don't have to think, oh, well, what do we do now? We got. What do you mean? What do you do now? You think it through 2 years from now, okay? And they didn't think it through. They didn't. They didn't. The dumbest. Oh, the Mandalorian. Everybody's telling me to go watch that. Well, you know what? I don't care. All right. I don't want to watch anything. I've seen enough right now. Anyway, so let's get on the topic. Let's talk about. I forget I didn't forget what the topic was. I was so passionate about getting some Star Wars shit out of me. I went to the gym today. Talk about procrastination because that's the main idea for the channel. What goes on in my mind, and I talk about this all the time. I talk about the 3 seconds. That you want to. It's funny when I look at myself like this. Do you remember the scene in Return of the Jedi where Luke is in the Emperor's throne room? And he's hiding from Vader, and it's like a blue, it's half of his face, and it's like dark and everything like that. It's like the dark side and the light. In a way, that's kind of like me, the dark side and the light. Okay, so what am I? Because the light's on this side, but the darkness is over there. Okay, so I guess I'm in the middle. It's kind of cool. All right, so I was going to the gym, and remember I talked about 3 seconds rule. You see something you like, and you should just right. Well, I saw something I liked. Okay, I didn't have to think. I saw a qualifier today. I saw a qualifier, and I got all my shit. I'm going to the gym, and usually going to the gym, it's no stop. It's no stop. Now I'm on a sidewalk, and she's on the opposite side of the street. This is not a major big street, so I could get across really easily. It's maybe 30 feet, whatever. And she was talking to somebody on the phone. Now I'm on the other side. I walked by her. I looked at her. She looked at me, and I kept walking. And I felt, in a way, like what I call the societal push, the societal, the kind of like your movement. Like it's like I'm being pushed by a force in society that's telling me that I can't. You got to keep walking, kind of thing. I can't explain it. It's a procrastination, shyness. I don't know what it is. Not really shyness, but maybe unboldness. Because shyness, I don't like using that word because I don't think I am anymore. But it's a not being bold, okay? So I'm walking, and I saw her. She looked at me for a second, but she was kind of walking real slow or something. I don't know if she was on the phone or something. I don't remember. And I kept walking about 25, 30 feet, and it started to really bother me. It really started to bother me because I said, Mike, you're resorting back to the old way of you're not taking action. You're not taking action. You didn't do anything. What's wrong with you? Well, I'm going to the gym. Why? It can wait. You can wait. So what do you think I did? Let's see. Let's give it to 20 seconds. I like people to think about. Did I go back to that woman? You bet your own ass I did. That's from that movie. If you can get that movie, if you can guess what that line comes from that I just did, you get a bonus points for that. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. And I'll give you a minute. If you can go, you can rewind it. Like I guess I'll have this archived. But if you can guess what that, you damn right, you know what I did. Like with that passion, what's that from? A lot of people not going to know what that's from. Did you give the order, Colonel? You bet your damn ass right I did. That's Jack Nicholson in Few Good Men when he's on trial. When the Tom Cruise is plowing away with those questions. Incredible script by Aaron Sorkin. It doesn't get enough credit for that. But everybody knows Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson plays the Marine Colonel, and is you can't handle the truth, son. We got man that Jesus. I'm not a fan of acting, but let me tell you something, man. Jack Nicholson, that's for real. Like that was just you watch that, and I don't like courtroom dramas or nothing, but that scene, holy shit, wow. And then at the end, like when he's trying, you son of a bitch, I'll kill you. In real life, there's no way he would be. There's no way he would even get close. To, but it's made for movie. The whole thing. When you're, in a court martial, they take you into custody. You're not getting, they get you. They don't let you engage somebody within striking distance when you're being taken into custody. I'm sorry, it's not it's not like that movie, but it's good. It's good. Like the Pat event. The Tom Cruise grinding away to try to get the truth, and finally gets him to open up, and what he went through, but he made it. In life, it's the same thing. It's like this grind away at little by little to get the real, to get the truth, and it's hard. It really is in any aspect of life. It is. I got way off topic. Oh, but so about the girl. I know that's what this channel's about, and that's what the importance importance is. Okay, so okay. So I went back. Yeah, you damn right I did. So I went back, and luckily she was kind of, it was close. It didn't feel like predator kind of stalking thing because she wasn't walking really fast, going real slow. So what I did, like okay, so she's directly across the street. I walked to where she could see me, like kind of coming right at her, but it was not real. Kind of like there's a little bit of an angle that I did. Now I walked in the street. I did not walk up approaching from behind. It's like she's on the other side of the sidewalk. I'm on the other side of the sidewalk, the street. So I walked in the street, like, and when I got right up to her, I think she was talking to somebody on the phone or whatever. Maybe she had an earpiece. I don't remember, but yeah, she had an earpiece, and I said, excuse me, and I didn't wait for her to get off there, and I go, I'm just seeing the most beautiful. I just had to tell you, I'm just seeing the most beautiful women today. Like I said, then she started kind of laughing. She laughed and she goes, "Thank you, thank you." And then she kind of gave me that after she laughed and gave me the thank you. She gave me the kind of like, "I gotta go. I'm on the phone." Like it was more important that who she was talking to. She might have been lesbian. I don't. You don't know anything. I don't know. I don't know. But she was my type, visually. Like, okay. Um, I you should usually, even after that, you should press a little harder. I know I always say get the know. I know it's hard. I know it's not that easy, um, but you have to kind of make your intentions really hit home. It's not just good enough to give that nice little comment and walk away. It's a starter. It's an opener, but you have to go for the main course. You have to try to like push so that way they know, hey, you're for real. Like you're not just a guy. Like there's plenty of gay guys that walk around telling women, "Oh, you're so beautiful." Like you say something, it's not good enough. Look, It's you have to push. You have to push. It's and I'm saying that to myself. You know what I mean? I'm saying that so next time that happens, I'll do more than just that little comment. I'll push for, hey, is there any way I could just talk to you for a minute? Like try it nice. Look, you have to try. You have to fucking try, okay? This is how it is. They're not giving anything away. It's not like the porn movies where, like the guy shows up there and then it's all of a sudden he's like hitting it, I know. It's a dream. But it doesn't work that way. And that's the problem. When you watch those movies, you get fantasies of easiness. And it's not that way. It's not that way, in reality. And that's the problem is, you watch these things. I know it's fun. Believe me, I know. Okay. Because it's like you can't, it's that hard to get that in reality. So what are you going to do? Like it's like you throw your hands up and you go, well, I got to have fun. I got to get the release. I got to experience a little bit of the sexual enjoyment and stuff. Nobody's giving it to me. So, like, see, the problem is women don't understand that. They don't get that, like and then unfortunately, like some of these women that are willing to give you, they don't qualify, for me. The girl that I was with, like, I'm sorry, like she's just not, I don't even want to talk about it, it's an irrelevant thing. Look, everybody has their type, okay? That's all I can say. That's all I can say about that. But my point is that I did go back. Okay, I shouldn't have walked by and kept going. Because I should have just stuck with again. I saw what I liked. Don't even the 3 seconds. It goes by so fast anyway. If you count to three, you might give the whole point is not to outthink yourself. Okay, that's the problem. You're gonna think yourself out of even trying, and I did. And then I said to myself, Mike, you're going back to the old way, Warrior Junior. You're going back to the old way of this type of procrastination, not even trying kind of thing. So, again, you really don't want to resort back. It's so easy to go back. Oh my God, let me tell you, man, it's like, putting on not watching porn for a day or two and then putting it back on. You go back, that's what it is. That's what it is. You're going backwards. And it's very easy to do that, to resort back to the comfort zone. It's tough. You're venturing into parts unknown, and it's scary. It's and you don't see any success. What makes you keep going? Why are you going to keep trying if you're not getting nothing out of it? But you have to understand something. We are living in a time of quick, not fast food too, but we're living in a time of quick satisfaction, like quick, everything fast is done quick. Hey, I want to look something up on the internet. I can do that quick. You have to fight against the fast and easy. I know. We're used to, hey, this is fast. Get this thing done fast. Everything. You have to fight against societal norm, the society's way of telling you everything is fast and easy. It's not. Okay. It's like some guy that buy, the contractor, whatever, they want to build a building or something. It takes time. Okay. They have a plan. They draw out a blueprint, stuff, the blueprints, and it's a big production. It'll get built. It takes time. Okay. If you're looking for everything fast and easy, you're watching Chabberbait or whatever, it's fast and easy. That's fast and easy. Putting on a porn thing, fast and easy. That's the problem. With anything. I know I'm equating this to adult fun and stuff like that, but I'm trying to equate it to everything, Most things, it's a long, drawn-out process, to really solidify something. you know, and that's why I constantly work on these things. I know I don't see much reward. I don't. If anything, that's all I've gotten is confrontations. Here, I'll tell you something else that happened today. I was coming back from the gym, and some dude, some black dude, I don't know, he had like dreadlocks or something. I don't know, using some white SUV. He's driving up the block, residential street. I'm walking down on the sidewalk. Or he stopped. He was stopping. I don't know. Hey, I heard what he said. I didn't turn my head. I just kept walking. Hey, that's the second one. Hey, I think he said like the third or fourth one. He really raised his voice, and I didn't flinch. I just kept walking. He wanted my attention for whatever reason. The last one that he yelled really loud is when he drove off. I didn't have to say a fucking word. I didn't even have to look at the guy. I'm aware of his presence, but I'm also aware of mine. Now, you go back and you know what this is about. I said this 10 million fucking times. I'm the star of the movie. Okay? I decide. I'm not a public servant. Okay? Hay is a vague word. It's something you feed horses. In the context, whatever the guy would say, hey, he wants my attention. Guess what? I decide if I want to give it to him or not. Most people will allow, yeah, oh, can I help you? Yeah, what do you need? Am I obligated to help anybody that says, hey, and then they just raise their voice louder? What does that show you about that person without me responding, saying a word? They're raising their voice. Is that how you ask for something in life? Or is that how a baby asks for something? Now that guy, by raising his voice, there were other people walking around. What do you think that makes that guy look like a fool? And he knows that. Didn't give him any attention. Did not acknowledge his presence. Did not respond. Now, when he drove off, I did stop. I stopped where I was walking. I think I did walk out into the street just to see if he was going to come back. And I didn't say like this, or I didn't say nothing. Just looked kind of the death stare from 100 yards away. Nice and bright outside. You're going to look like a fool in front of everybody, my friend. You don't know what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with an expert. Remember what I said, how this relates to the New Hope, Obi-Wan? The power, the force over the weak-minded. How did you tell? You don't need to see. It's the same thing. I didn't say a fucking word. And I got this guy to get riled up. I wasn't trying to get him riled up. So, okay, maybe I wasn't using the force on him like that. But in a way I was. By not responding, I can control his anger, make him pissed. Because he's used to everybody giving him what he wants. I'm not everybody. Now, I'm not saying you go around ignoring people. But there's a difference. When someone needs something sincerely, they get right to it. They get right to it. Sir, they'll go right to it. They won't start with an opener. Hey. No. Do you know which way to how to get to Santa Monica, you know, or whatever? They'll ask. That hey is a vague. It's something else to lead to something else. Either a conversation starter, something I need. You know, he's trying to like get information. Like he's trying to feel you out, kind of thing. Remember, people looking to take advantage of you they need weakness. They need to find out like who I'm dealing with here. Hey, what does that mean? Hey, what? I didn't want to even respond because I'm not going to lower myself to your level. I'm beyond you. You don't understand that. You think I'm like everybody else? I show you I'm like nobody else that you know because I wouldn't even fucking give you any attention. When was the last time somebody did that? He was in shock. He didn't know how to fucking handle that. He did not know. He had to raise his voice. And I still didn't fucking break. I held my frame and kept going where I needed to go. It's my movie. It's my life. Fuck you. Without doing that. People will try. They will try to stop you from your life, from doing what you need to do. Now, I know this can be misconstrued. People, you should respect other people. Let me tell you something. That is also a very vague statement. You go around respecting people, you'd be surprised how somebody's kindness can be taken advantage as a weakness. Okay? You go around trying to help everybody and being a good person. I told you that there's no way you're going to be criticized. You can't make everybody happy. I'm sorry. It can't be done. It's not. It's not possible. There's people out there looking just to take advantage of you. And how do I know that guy wasn't one of them? By him raising his voice like that, it just shows you. It just shows you. What happens when you squeeze an orange? You get orange juice comes out, right? You get out what's inside. And somebody raising their voice like that, what came out? Garbage, because that's what was inside. I got that from Dr. Wayne Dyer. When you squeeze, and it's ironic, how squeeze something, you know, pressure, how you deal with pressure, what comes out, what's inside. Most people, it's anger. It's angry. It's pissed off because they're not getting their way. That's when you're tested in life with anything. When shit doesn't go your way. How do you handle that? You get pissed, right? Ah. But do you take it out on other people? Or do you find a way to be reasonable and say, okay, all right, so the world is not going according to me here. So what can I do here? How can I get around this? How can I start thinking my way through this? Instead of getting mad and shit. How can I outsmart, you know, the situation here? There's gotta be a way. That's thinking. And you can't generally make creative thinking decisions when you're enraged. Now, come on, we're all human. I know. That's a good challenge. Next time somebody tries to get under your skin or piss you off and stuff, do not give in. Do not engage. Beat them like I did. That guy, there's ways to help people at times. Let me give you an example. That club that I told you about at night. I saw somebody, there was like 3 or 4 people, and somebody they fell over. I don't know if he cracked his head on the sidewalk, but he was in the street. There's cars fucking going, okay? I was walking. I said, I was told, get that guy out of the fucking street. He's gonna get run over by a car. That's caring. That's helping. Okay? There's times to help. There's times to be, that's a good person. But let me tell you, there's people that will try to do manipulative things. I just talked to my friend over the phone about this. Doesn't matter, no names. But he was telling me he got a phone call from like Department of Water and Power. Said, we're coming here, we're going to shut off your water. Scared the shit out of him. Now, look, you have to understand. They said the same thing with the IRS. I had a friend too. They called it, we're coming there. That's a scare tactic. That's intimidation. It's a scare tactic. They send you something in the mail. They know we're coming there. I go, come on, come over here. My friend, with the IRS thing, he gives them all his information, his social security number, everything. Is scared shitless because he heard sometime, they come to your place, they take everything. And I go, you are uneducated. I didn't want to call him an idiot because people. That's a hard word, to call somebody. You should always try to think before you speak. You call somebody a derogatory, a lowball name. You're not really helping them. You got to be a little understanding with people. But my point, how this relates to that guy in the car. Hey, same thing. It could be somebody looking to manipulate you here. You got to be yellow alert. Remember, I talk about this. Yellow alert all the time. Protect, defend yourself. Do not giving them the information. They should know everything already. And if they shut off go ahead then. Trying to scare you. They try. That's an emotion. It's a very powerful emotion. To use the power and these people to make money, they will try to do shit like that. I know. And they're good. Listen, they're good. I told you about those brazen guys, those kids that fucked with me. They're good. Okay? If I was a trained fighter, I would have been able to see through their smoke screen. I would have fucking killed them. I'm not killed. You know what I mean. This is 21st century now. We're already in 2021. Okay? A lot of these guys, there's very desperate people out there. And desperate people, they kind of become, they know they're kind of like, the scourge of society. They find a way to survive. They're the vermin, okay? But they're smart in certain ways because that's what keeps them alive. And unfortunately, they're smart in the wrong way. They're using their creative process for no good, to take advantage of you, okay? Which is not the right way. You're supposed to use your creative things to help society, to solve problems, to help others. That's how, but the problem is not everybody's like that, okay? I know, solving problems. I mean, that's a huge, I know it's easier said than done, but these people that make all this money, the money comes, like to successful businesses, people that solve problems. I just, I want you to get any, if you take away from anything, just remember what I said about Yellow Alert. Star Trek 2. When the Reliant is coming into distance, and Kirk's on it, and he's sitting there on a chair. He goes, "This is damn peculiar." Yellow Alert. He knew. It's like hey, we just protect the, because what it did was the Yellow Alert. There's an inner. It protects the inner part of the Enterprise. There's an inner shield, like just because I remember what Chekhov said. I think in Star Trek 6, he goes, "If they fire with our shields down, we will not be able to respond, Captain." So that's my point. Like it's if you're not on Yellow Alert and you don't have the inner defense is protected, Then all of a sudden somebody calls you from the IRS or the DWP and they're getting your private information, or all they can, because you're not on yellow alert. And just like in public with that guy going by, that guy, yeah, I'm on yellow alert. I'm prepared. I didn't say red alert, like all like fucking things, but think about that. And think about what that yellow alert did. It made him think first. He said, okay, this is damn peculiar. Something's not right here. Now, not everywhere you go, you have to be like, look, but it's good. You know what? I always say this, and I know I didn't create this. It's always better to be a little paranoid than not to be. A little. Remember, skeptical a little bit. Just enough so that you don't get taken advantage of. Because this world is a very competitive, combative place, okay? I don't care if you're in real estate. How many, I have a friend, he owns a condominium. I don't know how many phone calls you could be getting. How many solicitations? They want to buy his house. They want to of course, they want to make money. They're fighting. They want to make something. That's one little example, one tiny example of how competitive and combative our society is. Okay. Why? Because the opportunities are not flowing like water everywhere. Okay. There's not money flying around, like you just have, go and get. It's not that easy. If it was that easy, it would not be so competitive or combative. And the problem is the 1%, and then there's 1%, what's left? 99%. They call it 1% for a reason. Because the 1% control absolutely everything. And it's a fucking unbelievable power of those individuals. Not all of them. Is one, they're unstoppable. Those 1%, as a whole, decide how you live. Okay, I'm sorry. Nobody tells me how to live. They do. Okay, they control absolutely everything. All right, as a whole. Individually, they control everything individually. And they're so far up there that you can't even fathom the kind of power. I told you this. You're eating breadcrumbs and breakfast, lunch, dinner, and any time in between or after whatever, there's the biggest buffet for them you can imagine. And equate that to anything in life. You think I'm talking about food. It has nothing to do with food at all. I equate the breadcrumbs to everything that you own, whatever your money you're making or anything, okay? These are the mega wealthy, powerful people that control everything. You'll never see these people. You won't know who they are anyway. You might hear, sometimes CNBC, some of these CEOs might talk. They're in the lower tier of that, making 800 times a year whatever the employees are making. 800 times. 800 times? Doesn't Michael Eisner write his own paycheck when he worked at Disney? Write his own paycheck? Jesus. Fuck. Yeah. Talking about a handful of extremely powerful people. And you contribute to it whether you like it or not. Yeah, you do. You got Disney Plus or whatever, you're watching TV or whatever, you're watching commercials, you're contributing in a small little way. Do you remember? I don't know, you have to be old enough. Young people would know. cable TV, the whole idea of cable television was to have no commercials. That was the whole thing. That's why you paid to watch cable. Then what happened? I don't know, somewhere along like, 30 years ago or whatever, cable basically started in the late 70s. Because my dad used to work for Select TV and On TV. I remember you go out and put in these converter boxes. I would go with him on these calls. Just getting started. We had different channels. There was a Z channel. There was Showtime, the movie channel, HBO. Just getting started. Lots of different things. It was really cool. And you paid whatever monthly for basic cable. It was like no commercials. You watch the movies telling you what's coming on. It's like, wow, look at this fucking thing. Then these guys got together after I said, you know what? We can change this. We can change this. We could start like selling, we can charge advertisers. We could start doing commercials here. Well, people like, the people they're gonna cancel their subscriptions. Some will. Some will. But you see, we've grown cable so big that those people that drop off, those other people, they're gonna stick with it. It's not going to be that big of a deal to the majority. And then those people that dropped off, they're going to say, hey, no, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. And then they went one step further. With ABC, you don't understand something. ABC was the bar for sports. There was a show called the ABC's ABC's Wide World of Sports. Say that fast 5 times, right? This is going into the 80s, the 70s into the 80s. If you put on, you go YouTube this, the most famous intro in sports. They don't show it anymore. Spanning the globe. Bum, ba, bum, ba, 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 bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. It's intense. The thrill of victory. It shows the race car drivers, the thrill of the hockey thing, and the agony of defeat. And the slalom skier, the Bulgarian or whatever. They always show it's the most historic thing you've ever seen. The agony of defeat. And it shows that the poor guy, the slalom thing, he goes off the thing and he looked like, I mean, I'm making a joke about it, but he looked like, and then his ski went flying, everything went flying, the sky, it looked like he was torn into a million pieces, but he was okay. Now he got every time they showed that clip, he got some type of reimbursement from it. I heard that Muhammad Ali met this guy, even asked him for his autograph. It's a Bulgarian guy. I forget what his name is, a very complicated name, but he got worldwide recognition for the agony of defeat. So my point was that was the opening of for years and years and years of anything that was important on sports. ABC's Wide World of Sports. That was it. Then what happened? Other channels came in to compete. Started showing the World Series on other channels, and then so ABC started to get some heavy competition. The biggest competition which came in was cable. A company called ESPN started early in the late 70s, early 80s. And what they did is they slowly started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And ESPN got so big through cable that they had to merge. They were bought up by ABC. ABC bought them because they were taking over so much business and everything. So everything is ESPN now. And people that can't afford it, and they moved the Monday Night Football. That was one of the reasons why. because it was ABC that controlled it. But then ESPN came in and moved Monday Night Football to cable. Do you see the control, how this works? That you have to have cable to watch Monday Night Football. It went from you paying, watching, with no commercials, to paying to watch cable with commercials. Now you have to pay to watch shit that was on regular TV for 35 years on cable. That's how you manipulate people. It's done over a long period of time, creatively. People were so up in arms about it. They were so pissed off for about a month. It was a staple of American television, Monday Night Football. Yeah, you don't have cable. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice now. That's how you control everything. Takes time. And that time is built through also through power and leverage. That's why ABC paid big money. That's why Disney paid $4 billion. It's not just Star Wars, it's other things. I think it's a Lucasfilm, it's all of it. Star Wars is a big piece of it. But it's irrelevant how much money. It's just that number. It was enough to take it from him. That money will be made back fairly quickly, if not already. It's nothing. It's nothing. They own all of it, everything, forever. And whatever I think money is generated in the future off of anything. That $4 billion, yeah, it sounds like an absolute phenomenal, but I told you about the $1 billion that was paid for those strip properties, those hotels that had 100% occupancy, 100% all the time. They gave them an offer he couldn't refuse. They needed that land. They knew. They said, "We got to build on this. This is like hot. We got to have this." That's what corporations do. They bring in the power when it's necessary. They have the power. They have the money to buy you out if necessary. They can get it from you. It's control, power, and leverage. That's what it is. You're going to say no. Somebody's going to offer you more than, how can you say no? You can't. But people with that kind of power, they can get things their way, done their way. That's how they want it. It's just an interesting thing. I find this fascinating. Should be discussed. Well, business. No, it's not really analyzed the way that I see it. It's analyzed in business deals, but it's not analyzed in the psychology of why, of like how it affects the human construct. Like getting people to go along with things. I think it's just interesting. It's like manipulation, in a way. And a lot of people, they don't really understand why is it done? How is it done? And you don't have really a choice. Really? Yeah, you don't. You don't. If you want to watch that show, you have to pay. That's how it is. So you don't have a choice. That's power. It's interesting. I used to go to these conventions, with my friend, and we go, and I remember it was I don't know, it's $7-8. I was like, okay. And I would think to myself, I go, what am I spending $7-8 I'm spending to go to the Shrine Show? I could be a little specific. I have respect for, some of my friends. I don't have to really put them on the spot because I have enough respect for them. I don't like making people that I care about very uncomfortable. unless it's something that could really help them. Then I will. But let me make my point. So the Shrine Show, we used to go, and I remember it was like, was it $12, $8? I don't know. It wasn't that much. I remember it was relative, and I think to myself, I go, okay, so I'm paying to go into the show where there's other people and they're selling stuff. So, it's like, it's really not fair to me. If you think about this, why can't, so the promoter, the charges, the dealers pay the promoter, let's say 125 a table, whatever. And then the people going in are paying entry fee. I'm sitting there going, this is not fair. Well, he's got to pay for the venue and everything. Okay. But why can't that be based on, why can't the venue base how much their money they're going to make off of how many tables there are and how many people pay entry? Why can't it be just a percentage or something? And then why does he have to keep raising the fucking rates of everything? Well, the place raises their thing. Why are they allowed to do that? It's not fair, like, it's like, and then it keeps people from spending, and it keeps these people trying to sell shit. They're not being like, you can't really wheel and deal. You understand what I'm saying? It just seems like it's engineered to work against you, like you can't, like, here I'm giving my time, I'm showing up to do this, and it's not really like, you're not, if anything, I know it's going to sound absolutely retarded, but it's like, in my mind, they should be paying you, like they should be giving you a discount coupon, just hear me out the way I'm thinking. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but this is how I think. In my mind, if I show up to one of these events and I'm there to spend, instead of me paying entry fee, the promoter should give you like a $10 voucher, good for anybody dealer at the show. If you spend like $20 or whatever, you get, here's $10 good toward free thing. I'm just throwing out ideas like spread the wealth kind of thing, like get the money flowing, get people to spend. But no, these promoters don't think like that. They're propagated on greed. Oh, I got to make my money in the tables. I got to make my money off these people coming. I got to charge $20. I got to charge. San Diego Comic Con, almost the same thing. It's ridiculous. It just doesn't work that way. Well, look, it's like stupid. It's like going to a sporting event. You're paying their salaries to sit in a fucking rubber seat, uncomfortable, like, the way, I don't go to any of those fucking games because those people that sit in the seats, they're sheep, in my opinion. Well, they have the luxury boxes too. Yeah, for the mega rich or something like that. I don't know. I think it's stupid. I think it's all a scam, okay? I'm sorry. I think that these people that are making money, all the big money, like, they're laughing all the way to the fucking bank, and everybody is contributing to it, one way or the other. They're contributing to all of it. They're making those people go way up here, and everybody else can't, and then they complain that they can't make any money. You know why you can't make any money? Because you're giving it all to those people at the top, and those people at the top don't give a fuck about you. That's why. The whole system needs to be completely redone over, and it will. I guarantee you. Not in my lifetime. I guarantee you. But maybe 500 years from now, it will collapse on itself. It will collapse on itself. It has to. I had a vision of it too. I know what's going to happen. It's going to get so ridiculous to where it has to collapse all on itself, and it will. Not like the mortgage crisis in 2008, nothing like that. I'm talking about a million times worse. A million times worse. And not like what you're thinking of, Mad Max, or not like that at all. Not like that at all. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it will not sustain itself. Every currency it has inflated and failed. Every one. And the US dollar will be no different. It'll all fall apart. Eventually, it has to. It has to. And it's all those people at the top. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. The 1%, but you have to go back to the 1% at the turn of the century of 1900. That decision that was made on Jekyll Island, okay? You look that up. You want to learn something? It wasn't the 1971 gold standard that Nixon said. That was made public. That was like something that was done. Excuse me. Try saying that fast. Using manipulation. That he came out on TV in '71. We're taking the country off the gold standard. That was pretty good. You know that was basically turning up the heat on the frog in the pot, really kind of turning it up there. But it started years before. It started like I think it was like after World War I. The guys that met on Jekyll Island off of Georgia. And I know I talked about this. I can't get into the full thing in detail because I don't know exactly, but there was a meeting. They convened on this island. It's in the U.S. It's off the coast of Georgia. I think it's called Jekyll Island. Okay, and it's a completely true story. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's not a dumb thing. A mystery of something. It's a fact. It's a documented fact. Okay, and what happened was the most powerful people in the U.S. convened on this place. And when I mean most powerful people, not the politicians and stuff. I mean the people that ran the oil industries, banking, like things that were powerful, the energy. They convened on this island, and they said we got to do something here. We got to do something, and what do you mean do something? We need to control. We need to make sure that we control everything here. And so they basically decided what to do is put all of our powers together and convince the government to create a central bank. And we're going to come up with this Federal Reserve System. It sounds like it's a government thing. Federal Reserve System. Which is about as federal as Federal Express is. It's privately owned. And that's what gave a limited few all the power to control everything through that manipulation. It started to create separation. It was thought through. It wasn't by accident. It's basically a well thought out Ponzi scheme. Pretty much. What it does, it basically ruins the economy. It ruins the value, the power of the dollar. Because you can just print as many as you want, to make it a number. That's why $100 doesn't buy what it did 10 years ago. It's not as big of a deal. But the minimum wage goes up incrementally. Incrementally. Compared to the value of something. Okay, the value of real estate, it went up. Yeah, okay. Go ahead, sell your house. And guess what? You're going to pay fucking expensive rent. So you get fucked either way. Sorry. But it's not your fault. Because you don't understand that value is tied to something that's being manipulated. Everything is. It's not. It's it's not controlled. There's no cap, which there should have been. Those people should not have been allowed to do that. Okay? They ruined everything. They ruined it for everybody else. They knew what they were doing. That's why it was done in private. It was done on that island. That gold standard thing wasn't that big of a deal when it happened in 71, okay? But then years and years later, you saw the price of the gold going up. But people be like, well, okay, well, sell my gold. What do I need it for? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means when you take gold out of the hand of people? Then they made it illegal to own gold. Now you can, but I'm saying, do you understand? You're taking away people's leverage. You're taking away their power to do things. Because they're all dependent on the dollar. Now the gold price right now, as of this video, is about what, $1,800. But that's not the true value of it tied. That's not the true value of it. Because they can print as much money as they want. Was it Ben Bernanke said, we're fine as long as the printing presses keep running. You only mine so much gold. There's only so much. But how come the price doesn't go up? I want you to think about that for a second. Then why doesn't the price go up a lot? Think about that. Pause. Think about it. You give your answer. Because it's being controlled. The price is manipulated. It has to be. Or else it'd be 50,000 an ounce or more. It'd be ridiculous. Maybe more, way more. I think it's controlled under the U.S. There's the government controls, I forget, 800 tons or a million tons or something. And they keep that price as low as they can, intentionally. There's some type of agreement, I guess, around the world or something. Whoever, all the gold reserves, they keep that price low for a reason. To prevent a collapse of the whole structure of the economy. Because that's what would happen. If the real value was tied to it, you can't. You can't. It would be ridiculous. It's just interesting. I think it's interesting. Most people don't know. They can't be bothered with this. Who cares about what happened back then? Who cares what happened back then? That's like saying to, like, you would tell, and I'm going to say this as nicely as I can, but I'm sorry, I'm really passionate. It would be like telling the people in Nazi Germany, like, hey, you have no idea what's coming. And you'll be like, nah, don't worry, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you what's going to happen. Do you see how absolutely ridiculous that sounds? I'm sorry to make a comparison of something like that, but do you see, if you knew something like that was coming, would you stay like and kind of wait it out? You know, those people in Louisiana, when the levees broke, you know, in I'm sorry, Baton Rouge. They're living. You look at those homes. They're like, you know, garbage. You know, you know, before the the levees broke and the Katrina, whatever. It was awful. Oh my God, what happened? Oh, geez, we got to send relief. We got to send relief. Help us. Remember the help us kind of thing. Those people were not prepared. They were not thinking. They were sitting unprepared, not prepared for what could have happened. Hold on, I will continue with part 2 of this.